What's up, y'all? This is Smokey Black. I'm back on deck and in full effect. I got an emotional topic to talk about today. We're going to talk about bad relationships on a female perspective. I got a guest today. How you doing today? Can you tell the world what's your name?
I'm good. My name is Takia. How are you all out there?
That's good, Kia. You from Baltimore?
Yes, I'm from Baltimore.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. What side of town you from?
I'm from West Baltimore, Emerson Village.
Oh, that's funny because I used to live out there like years ago though, but I wasn't all the way up near the high school, but I was around like Monastery, near like Hilton, around that area. But it was alright back in the early '90s though.
Yeah. I was going up and down Emerson and Beachfield. Yep,
Mm-hmm.
lived all up and
Hell
down there.
yeah, hell yeah. That's when motherfuckers like grew up with each other and was having fun and shit back then. You know what I'm saying? Now, like, you can't even say hello to your neighbor without somebody getting fucked up and shit. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
Beachfield and Irvington always been beefing. So
Mm-hmm.
if they men things, I'd be like, that's a big change. But
Mm-hmm.
Beachfield has always been like beefing with them. So it ain't no different.
Word. Okay,
Word.
well, today the topic is it's called bad relationships. You ever had a bad relationship, kid?
Shit, plenty.
Plenty? Well, I mean, which one was the most juiciest? The one that gave you the most problems?
The one I just recently got out of, I would have to say that one was the most weirdest one that I've been in.
What was so weird about it, kid? Will you tell us? What was so weird about it?
Um, it was just the facade and persona that he had put on. It
Mm-hmm.
was, you know, I was trying something different, with the different guys that I was dating. I was always going for more so like the bad boys and, you know, I'm not gonna say the roughnecks because I don't do guys that are roughnecks, but I liked the guys that were the opposite of me. So I tried to date differently. Somebody
Mm.
that I felt like would be a great example to my child because I'm now the mother. You
Mm.
know, I
Yeah.
want to have somebody that's going to be a great representation to my son because I do have a child. I do have a boy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I want to say that because I was so hurt from my last relationship last year, I suffered with a miscarriage. I had a miscarriage, and I went through some things through that.
Mm-hmm.
Never really gotten the chance to mourn the death of my child.
So
Per
wait,
se, you could say.
time out. I'm kind of I'm kind of confused. Um, was the baby with the dude that you just broke up with?
No. It was with my child's father.
Oh, okay. Now,
So
since you
I
mentioned
went.
about your baby father, I'm sorry to cut you off. Since you mentioned about your baby father, is that the roughneck that you're trying to give us an example of?
My baby father, he was not no roughneck.
Oh, okay.
He just he was a bad boy type. Got
Mm,
into trouble, been to jail.
mm,
He been through that, but he was a bad boy trying to turn good. But
mm.
I was in a relationship, a long term relationship, way before him.
Oh, okay,
And
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So I haven't had many relationships, but I've been in relationships, must I say. But what made this relationship unique was that I didn't really look out for too much signs with him.
Mm.
He put on this facade like he was really a good guy. I mean, what woman wouldn't want a man that cooks, that cleans, you come home and, he has your bath water running and he was an all around good guy, imaginable good guy.
Mm.
I was still dealing with the hurt from what I had suffered through with my baby father.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't really paying too much of a close attention to the behaviors that he was portraying to me. But what I will say is also about bad relationships, must I add, is that you have to have balance. And if you don't have balance, the relationship is not going to work. You have to be able to communicate with one another.
Now let me ask you this, kid. When you said communication, what about like other things other than just communication? Does that qualify only just in a relationship? Communication? That's just it?
No, I think that also qualifies in a friendship. Anything that you do in life has
Right.
to require communication. You go on your job, something happens on your job, you have to communicate that with your boss.
Right.
So communication doesn't just only apply to relationships. It applies to everything that you do
Mm-hmm.
when you are just dealing with people.
Right.
And you can communicate also with a lot of people, but another big thing in relationship is understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and I think that in the previous relationship that I had,
Mm-hmm.
that was an issue. I could communicate with this person, and we didn't argue where we were screaming at the top of our lungs.
Yeah.
Which was a good thing because me and my baby father used to do that a lot, and it became so toxic to where though we had to like get away from each other because we were doing it in front of our child, and it was starting to take a toll on our child. But my son was a little bit younger when that was happening, so he didn't really understand what was going on. But it could have started some major trauma in him if it would have kept going the way that it was going.
Now, can I ask you a question, kid?
Sure.
With I noticed that you're mentioning your baby's dad. You feel me?
Uh-huh.
And he must have really hurt you, huh?
I'm not good with expressing my feelings. I'm learning
Yeah.
how to.
Right.
I'm a Taurus, so you will never know when you hurt me.
For real.
You just will never know. I'm good at hiding my feelings, But I can honestly say that relationship did somewhat damage to myself. But
Mm-hmm.
I have to put blame on myself also.
Well.
And that's the hardest part about That's the hard part about growth. Is when you have to turn that gun right back on yourself, or point that finger back at yourself and be like, what part did I play in this?
Mm-hmm.
Or what caused this person to act like that? Because remember, every action has a reaction.
Hell yeah, I can agree.
So, the things that I can do, that I can say that I've done to my baby father, because I've done some pretty, I wouldn't say I've done.
Mm-hmm.
I've said some really hurtful things towards him. I've never cheated on my child's father. I never lied to him about anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I've said some really hurting things when I was pregnant. Women and our hormones, those are really hard things to kind of somewhat control.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we were out, and I told him I hated him. I remember we were in Silver Springs, and he did something, and I got mad, and I put him out the car. I didn't expect for him to really walk from Silver Springs to D.C. Even though that's not far, it was dog shit. And I remember I put him out the car, and he got out. And I didn't know anything about Silver Springs or D.C.
Oh, shit. Dang, wait a minute. How long was that bop, yo? How long was that bop, yo?
I don't know, but he beat me home fast as shit. And
hell no. Yo, you was that petty to put that man out, and he still beat your asshole? Something wrong with that bitch.
I think that he was, and that was the hormones. Like, he irritated me so freaking bad.
Right,
oh
right.
my God. Me and my baby father could not stand each other when I was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, and also, I want to add, dealing with a traumatized woman could also cause damage to a relationship also, especially if she has not dealt with those traumas. And I was one of those people.
Oh, okay.
I didn't deal with certain past traumas, and communication was a huge, huge problem for me.
Mm.
And with him, it was like, you know, you got to communicate with me. But it'd be like, I don't know how to. I'm not going to say that I didn't know how to. It was just that I don't feel like talking at this moment. Like, I don't. I didn't know how to address the problem at hand because I was already hormonal. I was ready to fight everything and everybody.
Right.
I was just so angry when I was pregnant with my son. I was just evil. Like, I wanted to fight. And I put my hands on my baby father when I was pregnant. I actually went to jail too.
Dang.
And for doing it, yeah, I did. I did. But that was a lesson to be learned. You know, I done emotional damage to him, and it's a life cycle that I can honestly say it's a revolving door. Hurt people. And sometimes you got some people that does not acknowledge what they do, and then you got some people who acknowledges it and just don't want to fix it. I was one of those people who did not acknowledge. And once I acknowledged it, I went through a phase where I didn't accept it. I had to blame somebody. As long as it wasn't me, I had to blame somebody. But in the last relationship that I just got out of, it showed me to take accountability for my actions, because a lot of things that my child's father was saying to me, I felt myself saying it to him in the new relationship that I was in. So I think that relationship was somewhat calmer for me. I think that it was a lot of lessons to be learned within that relationship. I didn't really get to know this guy. Like, last year, I met him, moved him in, quick as shit. And another thing for the ladies, like, you know, we have to take our time with these men because we really don't know who we're dating. Them men that be in them suit and ties and them men who, you know, seem like they got it all together, trust me, there's something wrong with them motherfuckers too. And, like, they just his words. And because I was like, you know, he's not a street guy. He, you know, seemed like he got his head on straight. He goes to college. You know, he just seemed like an all-around great guy. I couldn't find anything wrong with him until I moved to Pennsylvania. This guy had lied to me about everything. It was like I didn't know who I was sleeping with. And not only just that,
she said that.
I'm for real. And to top it off, Kareem, top it off, the sex was horrible.
Oh, shit. Hey, yo, hold. Don't stop the press. Wait a minute. Time out. Flag on the play. Hold up. What was wrong with the sex, man?
He couldn't fuck. That's
he couldn't fuck. Yo, he have a dick, yo. What you mean he couldn't fuck, yo?
Okay, so, like, this is going to be hard for me to explain.
I want to hear this one. This is juicy.
First and foremost, he was not circumcised. Now, I'm not knocking any of the guys out there that's not circumcised. Don't fucking come for me because I'm not coming for y'all. I just prefer not to mess with a man now that's uncircumcised. That's just my preference.
Right.
But you would have thought when we first had sex, I was going to wait until I got married to him. Thank God I didn't. When we first had sex, I noticed, like, he just started pumping, like, really fast. And the movement, it wasn't a stroke. It was just a up and down motion. It was like I felt a pinch, and then that was it.
A pinch? And like a bee sting, nigga?
Like a pinch. Like, it just felt like somebody just tickled down there and just...
Hey, yo, did you just say he tickled you, nigga?
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. And the anticipation, it pissed me off because I was like, oh, me, you know, he's picking me up.
Yeah.
Counters.
Right.
You know, he's about to do the damn thing.
Right.
And his dick seemed like it's big. No, it was his balls. I've never seen anybody be that huge before.
Now let me ask you that. You know the average size to a brother's penis is 6 inches, right? You know that, right? That's average. Then that's normal for a brother. Now
he's under average.
He's under 6?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, hold up. Let's stop the presses. Hold up. Now, I'm not the brightest man in the world, but I'm not also the dumbest man in the world neither. Can you please give us a brief description on ruler size amount of the size of the man's penis?
Let's just say hot dog rolled in a bun. The little short one style.
The little short one. You mean like
You know how?
You mean like a Asian penis?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Damn,
but
a toddler penis.
It's like you might as well say I couldn't feel nothing. And when I was a lot of people, I went to a lot of people, and it was like you do something random. Even when I got on top and I rolled, it was like it felt disgusting. It was like I was riding a slug. Like you can literally hear the condom like making its noise. Like, and then when I got up the condom, the condom came up with my vagina. So I know it's not me.
Yo, it came off his wood.
Yes,
Hell no.
My shit be tight like that to where though it does take off the condom. When me and my baby father is not small. My baby father he's rolling out, and my did that to him also.
Right.
We just was like, fuck no. We took days to kind of try to find the fucking condom. I had to go, to the doctors to kind of get that shit, found. But off topic. So I knew it wasn't my pelvic flooring because I was like, I do my Kegels, So I was like, maybe he was just nervous, And then another red flag was that he bust in his pants. I was like,
hey, yo, what the fuck? Nigga, I was about to spit out my goddamn Gatorade.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Hey, yo, wait a minute, hold up. Now, this might sound crazy, right?
I can't.
But I remember when I was going to high school, okay? We can get the condoms, okay? They got the lifestyles, they got the color joints, the whole rainbow. Now, I remember back then, like the lifestyles is actually perfect, but they pop. You know what I'm saying? Now they got the Trojans, they more popular now. What kind of condoms was y'all wearing? False protection.
He was under the perception that he needed to wear Magnum.
Oh man.
So I'm a very straight to the point, blunt person because I was already mad that he couldn't fuck. So, but I tried to be patient with him. I really did because I was like, it's not always about sex. You know what I'm saying? It's about the conversation that people give you. And
it is about the sex, girl. Stop lying. It is about the sex. You know what? You want me to tell you why it is about the sex? Because the sex leads you to the conversation. It leads you to want to get closer to a motherfucker. It leads you to want to get to know the motherfucker more. So don't come at me and telling me it's not about the sex. Because once the sex is blown, it's going to push you off.
I was on some other shit. I was not right. So I just was like, I wanted to take sex out of the relationship. I didn't want to just make it about sex. Because once everything else leaves, that will be all I will be able to hold on to is that the sex was good. And I didn't want that this time. So I took sex out of it, and I was like, maybe he just needs to be taught. Maybe he just needs something.
Wait a hold time out. Not to cut you off, but let me go back. When you said that, how often you and your baby father was having sex?
Almost every day.
Okay.
12 times a day.
What the fuck? All right. With your boyfriend.
What the fuck? If he wanted it, if he wanted butt 12 times, when we first met.
Right.
Well, hold on. We waited a month or two before we met up, and then the first night we met up. It wasn't. It wasn't. When we met up, we had sex. And in that hotel, we fucking had sex like crazy. It was like 12 times that we had sex. We went at it for 12 times. And then afterwards, it was a constant thing where we were just having sex. Everywhere we was going, having sex. And that's how I ended up pregnant with my son.
Okay.
But
So you said you basically you love having sex with your baby father. So basically you wanted to have it like every day, wham bam thank you man. Now the reason why I asked that is because you can't just turn that switch off. You can't do that because you're gonna expect this motherfucker that you dealing with is gonna be better than the nigga that you already dealt with. Since he got
exactly, that's why I said in the beginning the anticipation was
Right.
very upsetting because he was doing sexual things like picking me up, putting me on the counter, and I'm like, oh, he's free, I can do this.
right.
But when I got in the bedroom, it was like, what the fuck type of deliverance was this? Like, huh? I laid there in confusion, like I was confused for a second, like, what the fuck just happened? And then I asked him, I said, where did you nut? And he was like, in my pants. And then he gave me thumbs up. That should have been a red flag to me, and I should have kicked his ass out of my fucking apartment then. But I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I was like, wow. Like, okay, maybe he was just nervous. So I let I let a month go by before we had sex again. And it happened again like that.
He busting his pants again?
No, like he kept getting hard and then he kept getting soft.
He like girls? He like girls? He like girls, right?
Could you let me finish this story, please?
Yo, go ahead. I'm sorry. Matter of fact, you can take the floor. Take the floor.
So, I started having conversations with people because I started wondering, like, what the fuck is going on? Have they ever went through this or experienced this? And you remember you and I had conversations about it, and, you know, I told you what was going on. You know, I started questioning until one day he came up the job. You know, we got a faggy in there.
No, I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
Yes, we have a faggy that works there.
Right.
And one day my boyfriend came to the job and he dropped my food off and he was like, honey, that's one of us. And I said, no, he asked, who was that? And I said, that's my boyfriend. And he was like, child, that's one of us. And I said, no, he's not. That's my boyfriend. No. And he was like, I know my kind, baby. And that's our kind. He's an undercover man. Give me 5 minutes with him.
Oh, shit. Hell no.
Yes.
Word.
Yes.
Damn.
Me and my boyfriend had a conversation one day, and I forget how the question came about, but I asked him, like, have he ever had desires to be with a man? And he said yes.
Whoa! Holy shit!
Yes. Yes.
Whoa!
And I asked him what stopped him, and he was like, he hate gays, he don't like gays, and all this other stuff, but he said one of his gay friends tried to come on to him and actually to a currency. Now, again, I'm still fucked up from my miscarriage, the last relationships and stuff. So I was like kind of somewhat far gone last year. I was in a fucked up place with myself, not really caring too much about myself, loving myself. It was just that I needed to fill a void. And he just so happened to be that void. But I loved him. I did love him. I cared about him. I cared about him a lot. That I tried to help him and save him from his own self. He just was like, he didn't go. One of his homeboys sucked his dick, and he didn't like it.
Oh! What?
Yeah.
Repeat that. Wait a minute, hold. For what's good? For what's good media?
Tried to rape him.
Wait a minute, hold up. For what's good media? Can you please repeat that shit again?
He said that one of his gay homeboys had sucked his dick. Now, he claimed that he was not aware that something was slipped to him. But when somebody slips you something, you don't just remember bits and pieces. Like, your memory goes completely. He was like, basically the guy sucked his dick or whatever. And I was like, still didn't click on me. Because I was like, okay, he's not gay. I don't think that he's gay because the guy tried to take advantage of him. And, he was like, then the other guy, he grabbed his penis and stuff like that in the car, and he got out of the car and took the guy home. Then when he said that, I was like, so why was it a second time? He was like, because he thought that maybe they were drunk and, things might have got out of hand. So, I was like, did you hang back with this guy afterwards? He said no. So, fast forward, he started lying on my baby father, started saying that my baby father was stalking the house and things like that, was calling the police, making, like, different reports saying that he seen my baby father up around the house, which was not true. So I decided to pick up and go to Pennsylvania. Just wanted a different scenery. So I moved to Pennsylvania. Got to Pennsylvania, started seeing unusual behaviors from him.
Shit, how much more weird shit you gonna see at the fucking get his motherfucking knob slogged on? How much more weird shit we gonna hear? The fuck? I'm still fucked up off him getting his dick sucked from another nigga.
He would sit in the corner sometimes by himself. He would lie like, oh, I don't want to put his business too far out there because maybe he may hear this one thing and, probably try to sue me for defamation of character with his clownish. But, if he does hear this, bitch, can you please stop hacking into my fucking Facebook? Shit.
Damn, he's stalking you too?
Yes.
You know what I would do? And I'm saying this as a friend, you feel me?
He's an IT person.
I'm saying this as a friend, you feel me? Get a goddamn restraining order, girl.
I tried.
Then what the fuck happened?
Down there in Pennsylvania, their rules are a little bit different from ours. So it was a little bit hard to prove that he's doing it.
Right.
And he's IT, so he knows how to hide his IP number and all this other stuff. So it's kind of hard for him to backdate and track and shit.
Damn.
So, long story short, when I finally woke up from, and started really sitting back and observing and things like that, I started seeing that he had split personality. You ever seen the movie Split?
No.
You need to watch that movie. That's the type of person I was dealing with. For anybody that's seen the movie Split will be like, damn, like, that shit is real.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, though. What's the zodiac sign?
He's a Libra.
He's a Libra. Well, I mean, he it's a natural born chemical imbalance. So he has like a yin and a yang complex. He has a good side, he has a bad side.
Some weird yin and yang stuff, because one day I will wake up with a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
Next day I'll wake up with a man who is business savvy and, he's capable of being a loving, adorable boyfriend. And then you have Marcus.
God damn, how many fucking alter egos he got? God damn, this sounds like to me you living with a goddamn psycho.
You know what, we got many Marcuses out there, so, but then it was Marcus, and I want to protect any other woman that might come across him, too, and tell me he has potential to be a good guy, he does, but he has to heal himself first. He's a danger to himself and others, I started studying him for a little bit, keeping my son safe, but studying him a little bit in his behavior. You know, he lied and said his father molested him,
Mm-hmm.
which wasn't true. I found all this out in the end. I noticed that when he, has to take, he was supposed to be on medication. He's never been on medication. So he's been lying to me. And I just started watching him, like really paying attention to him. And I'll try to identify the person that I'm laying next to. And it'd be like, okay, the 9-year-old Marcus will sit in the corner, he'll cry and, talk like a baby or be like, you yelled at me, you got that one. And then another person I will wake up with, Donna Morrow is the person that he would name his alter ego. So Donna Morrow is the business savvy one, the person who,
That motherfucker gone. I'm sorry to say it, nigga. That nigga gone. First of all, hold up. I'm a Libra my goddamn self, okay? And I can tell you this, hands on. Libras does have that alter ego. We do. But you just named it. I lost count how many motherfuckers you just named, nigga. How many goddamn alter egos that fool has?
I don't know. I only can identify with 3. I don't know how many he has. But I do know the character Marcus is the liar, the manipulator, the narcissist, the person that is capable of hurting.
That motherfucker sound like he needs to be in a goddamn cage, man.
And the sick part about it, the bad part about it is that some of his family members doesn't recognize his sickness and illness and won't go seek help for him. He called my mom and was like, trying to mend things with her and could she meet up with him. And I'm like, the relationship is done. What do you need more? Like, I'm done. So it's like he reaching out to people that's close to me to, I don't know. Like, it's just crazy. So I learned a lot about this relationship. I learned a lot from it. First, don't just jump into a relationship. Really get to know the person, and, don't just go off of what you see. Go off of what they're actually showing you. And I know you're probably like, what? That's confusing. Mm-hmm. Don't be blinded by what you sight see in the outer. Really, really, really pay attention to them signs. Mm-hmm. Really do your homework and your research. Mm-hmm. Because if you're not watching, it's a lot of shit that you will really miss. And I missed a lot of that shit. I did. I truly did. I cared about him. I did. He used to tell me he would try to kill himself and stuff like that.